Hey, how you guys doing? Still got a few things playing around with here. I've got the big ass screen in front of me, which is kind of cool because I can have all these windows right in front, so I can see them. So let me just make sure that we've got some sound. I think we do, and we'll be ready to go here. There's always this delay, which is kind of fun. Let's see, is everything else working? Yes, I think everything else is working the way I want it to be. Hey, and I have sound. Look at that. That's so cool. Let's see, housekeeping stuff first. And a lot of you guys know this, but we're streaming to YouTube and a variety of other places. So just so we have it, this is how you can always find me. Websites, hashtags, phone numbers, although like who phones anymore, right? Texts. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's kind of the important thing. Let's see what else is new. Oh, I know what I was going to show you guys. Hold on. I think it's this one here. So the virtual training events that we have, those are up and running. We had a few of them. A busy weekend, worked really well. The Online Wizard Academy, I don't have a screenshot here, otherwise I would show it to you. Excuse me, it's up and running too, which is working really well. So if we, let's see, is there an easy way? No, I won't worry about it. Just go to here, of course, right? Go to here, healingcenter.ca, right below. Click on Ask the Wizard Academy, and you will be able to, go in there. And we have, it's kind of like a combination, and this is still fairly new, but there's the Online Academy, which is home studies that are supplemented through the virtual workshops, right? The virtual workshops, what I'm talking about is those right there, right? And then the virtual workshops are supplemented by the Online Academy. So they're really married together. They really work really well. And so if you want to check that out, you can create your own account. So we don't have a lot of the complete home study versions. Where's my chat? I just hold on. Let me think. There's my comments right there. So there I can see you guys now. And I believe if I go everyone, that should work. Yeah, there we are. At least on YouTube. Don't know if it's coming through on Facebook. Now I'm curious if it is or not. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You're streaming here and flowing through here and all that cool kind of stuff. So I'm just going to open that up, and it's so slow. Oh, interesting. So if I leave a comment there, it doesn't necessarily post it on Facebook. Okay, well, So I do see your comments on Facebook. They're just over there. So if I don't mention or kind of acknowledge you right away, that's why. Just need more coffee. It'll all be good. I should take a picture. Hold on. I'm going to take a picture. We will get to the topic. I'm going to take a picture of what I'm seeing. So hold on. And I'll post it later. Okay. So this is there. Okay. There. So, oh dear. So I took a picture of what I am seeing, and I'll post it to the comments to the video here. So anyway, check out the Ask the Wizard Academy. It's working really well. We're just now starting the whole machine. Seems to be working okay and doing what it's supposed to be doing. So now it'll be just a matter of creating the content. You can browse through it. Most of them are kind of empty boxes, if you want to call it that way. We don't have the modules and things behind it. But that's that. Oh, my chair just fell backwards, and that's kind of how that piece works. Let me think. What else? So I don't, because I'm not using my phone. Obviously, I don't see little icons when you're watching. So I know I have people watching, but I don't see little icons. So if you wanted to hop into the comments and shout out and say hi, then I know who you are. That would be really cool. Share, right? We're all in this together. And let's see what else. No, I think that's it. Your first or my first priority of the day. Now, in the manifesting home study, there's 5 steps, and the 4th step we call inspired action. And inspired action, and even what that means, is a topic for kind of another broadcast. But just for now, and I don't know, I think we're streaming pretty good. Boy, I tell you, the bandwidth in the mornings here has been, at least for like streaming out, has been just miserable. So now what I do is I check each morning to see if we're kind of doing okay before I even try to do it. Oh, there's comments there. Anyway. Oh, hey, Brandy, how you doing? So there. Okay, so I can see. Okay, I'm going to comment here. I'm going to do this. Okay, isn't that weird? So I can see your comments, Brandy. And if I comment back on this interface, it doesn't show up on Facebook. But okay, well, anyway, hey, girl, thanks for saying hi. The 4th step is, we call it inspired action. And one of the fundamentals, and it's like I said, your first priority of the day, my first priority of the day, step 1 is what we call getting into the flow. And what's really interesting about so many of these concepts, the normals, right? The normals look at them and they go, wow, that's kind of weird stuff and all that type of thing, right? But what's really interesting is they do it too. They're just not aware that they do. And the bigger piece is they haven't consciously created practices where they could put themselves into the flow. So so we call it getting in alignment with the creative flow. In sports, they call it being in the zone. Right? So, and they have no problem. The normals have no problem with that. Right. So I'm in the zone. And when that guy's in the zone, right? Whatever sports it is. And it's like they can't do anything wrong. Right. I remember when I was growing up, I don't watch really sports that much anymore. But when I was growing up, Dad and I would watch CFL. Right. And we would talk about the momentum that a team had. And the color commentators would talk about momentum, right? And one team, they could take that ball and they could just move it down the field. And it's like nothing could stop them. And that's what the commentators would say. Boy, this other team, they got to shift that momentum around. Well, that's what getting in the flow is about. And we all get into the flow every once in a while. The biggest thing is, so often it's sporadic and it's very temporary, and we don't know how we do it. Right? We have all had those days when things just seem to work, and it's usually not a day. It's maybe like an hour or 2 or an afternoon where things just seem to work. And all too often, again, think of it, that momentum, it's like you lose the momentum, and now we're back to the kicking and the scratching and the crawling, right? Like I say, like they're rolling a really big rock up a really steep hill. So many of the techniques that we teach, as I said, the normals and us, we experience them. We're just not aware that we do. And we don't have conscious practices to create those vibrational states consciously. And so that's why, for me, when I say, and it's true, oh, look, so somebody had a thumbs up on Facebook. So it shows up. Sorry, I've got all these different pieces of software kind of connecting, and they're changing so fast. It's not like they have a manual, not that I would read it, but it's not like they have a manual or anything. And so it's, oh, this, and this does this. No, that's pretty cool. But is about getting into that flow. And that's where self-care, I like to call it self-appreciation. And it may sound like I'm sort of nitpicking with words, but remember, words have a vibration too. And I think very often when we talk about self-care, what we're saying is the context of it is there's something broken that needs to be fixed, right? So self-care is I need to fix something. I need to get better, or that type of thing. And so for me, when I call it self-appreciation, so what self-appreciation is, I'm just appreciating myself. And that's one of man, I tell you, more and more and more, I see that as this whole show. Hey, Carly, how you doing? So, oh, there we go. Oh, this is really cool. So it shows, okay, so I'm going to see if I do it here. It shows up and, oh, cool. So we're streaming all over the place. So I have YouTube coming in and I have Facebook coming in. Gadgets are really fun. As this whole show kind of keeps on rolling and rolling and rolling, what we're seeing more and more and more is an opportunity for you, right? Without, kind of all the accoutrements, right, that so many of us have depended on for so long, right? These external structures, these people, places, things, or events that define who we are. And those aren't there. And so now we're so many of us, really all of us, some are more aware than others. So many of us are in this spot where now I kind of need to decide, well, who am I? And I was just talking to somebody yesterday. It's a really interesting one question, two questions, because the first question is, who am I? Immediately followed up by who I choose to be, right? So you could almost say, who am I? And then we could sort of transform that into who I am, right? And there's this wonderful opportunity. And you may go like, oh, what the frick, right? Opportunity, when I look around at all this mess that's going on. And the mess is very true, but in this really kind of ironic way, the mess is creating space for us to create something brand new, for you to create and decide who you are, who I am. Right? And so it's almost like the clutter is gone, or sort of faded into the background, right? And so now I get to decide, as I said, who I am, right? And that's what we're finding is these principles are working more efficiently because there isn't so much congestion in this crazy way. But it's very much like the eye of the tornado, where in the eye of the tornado, it's still and it's calm, but you can look around and there's this stuff whirling around us. And so it's really easy to look that way and get caught up in it, right? And so for me, getting into that creative flow is bringing you right into this present moment, right into the center of that tornado. And then when you do that, you see, now we've got the energy flowing. Now we've got the momentum flowing in the direction that we want it to flow. And now all the external steps that we take will be so much more efficient. And the other aspect of it, when we're a little bit more metaphysical, but when we're in that vibrational state, we are sort of supporting the appearance of all the coincidences that support the direction we want to go. See, and again, we could talk about this all day. I'm not, so it's okay. But when we put ourselves in that creative flow, so how do we know we're in the creative flow? Well, a couple of ways. So the first, where's the creative flow? Is right here, right here, right in this physical moment. And that's a big piece of, so some people have been watching us for a while, following us, what we call convergence method is really powerful because it puts you right back into your body, and your body is always present moment, right? And the second way is, and they're kind of part one, part two, but the second way is you kind of, right? You just, we call it relief in the manifesting home study, relief, tension, relief. It's like settling in the eye of the tornado, but at least you're settling into the eye. And that's why we have a meditation 101 coming up as a virtual workshop. Can't remember what date, but head over to healingcenter.ca and click on the virtual events and you'll see them all. They take place right here, right? All our cool gadgetry, and we've included guided meditation, and we've amped up the quality of the sound, and it's actually working really well. I tell you, given the number of pieces and the software and the learning curves over the last however many months, it's actually pretty damn good. And it's interesting how more and more organizations, however you want to frame those, are embracing online, are embracing virtual connections. And then, of course, the software companies are upgrading all their stuff because everybody's using them. So all these new features. But settling into that flow, as we settle into that flow, whatever that looks like, and this is why, as I said, your self-care, your spiritual practice, we'll often call it, right? What for you in the morning can you do to help? And I mean, some mornings is wind beneath our wings, and other mornings you just kind of, so some mornings it feel good, and then other mornings it's feel a little less worse, right? So remember, it's a sliding scale, right? So some mornings are better than others, but do what we can to get into that flow, that zone. Because then two things, and I will close with this. Now we're in that vibrational space where those coincidences cannot make their appearance to us. And then the actions that we do take from that vibrational space are going to be a whole lot more effective. So you may go, oh man, I got so much to do today. I don't have time to sit for half an hour or 10 minutes or 40 minutes. But the thing of it is, it's kind of the whole working smarter, not working harder. When you're in that vibrational space as much as you can be, then everything else that you do is so much more efficient. At the end of the day, you actually have accomplished a whole lot more and burnt a lot less energy. And I realize it kind of warps your brain because you go, I got so much to do. I got to get out there and get shit done, right? I'm not saying that's not the case. What I'm saying is, let's see if we can get this shit done with more efficiently or in a more efficient manner. How do you do that? Spending that bit of time, whatever it is, whatever it is for you to get you into that space, whatever that may be, and then take the action, right? It's like doing your vibrational pre-work, and then you take the action, and then everything is so much more effective. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Share. We're all in this together. I've sent you've got all the website addresses and stuff like that. You know how to find me. We've been doing a lot more, virtual workshops. As I said, you can go find that, virtual coaching, and it's working really well. I have to say that it's working well. The mechanisms are working well. There's a lot of value that's moving back and forth. And I think we're rocking and rolling. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, get in the flow. See you on the web.